When Emma's secret came to light, it wasn't through rumors or hidden clues. It was her own recklessness that gave it away. A late-night message from someone named Eric flashed on her phone while she was showering. It read, "Last night was unforgettable." My chest didn't tighten. I didn't break down. I simply went still inside. Calmly, I held up her phone when she came out, and she immediately dissolved into guilt. She said it was a slip-up, a meaningless lapse. But cheating isn't accidental. It's deliberate. And if Emma wanted this marriage to survive, it would be under my conditions. I wasn't going to fix things for her this time. I was going to create clear boundaries she couldn't cross. I told her divorce wasn't off the table yet, but everything would be different now. Total honesty. Passwords, calendars, whereabouts. Nothing was off limits. No secret messages, no private dinners, no unexplained absences. Therapy would be mandatory. And if I even sensed dishonesty or disrespect again, I would leave without warning. Emma nodded, her eyes watery, agreeing to every line I drew. But I saw it. She believed this was temporary, that I'd go back to being the man who overlooked things. What she didn't realize was that version of me no longer existed. I had reached my limit and broken. From now on, it was my standards or nothing at all. The first few weeks were tense. Emma struggled with basic accountability. Sharing her location felt unnatural to her. She got defensive when I asked detailed questions, as if honesty was a burden instead of a necessity. Our therapy sessions turned into emotional battlegrounds where she swung between sorrow and resistance. But I didn't budge. These boundaries weren't punishment. They were the foundation for rebuilding trust. Emma needed to understand that forgiveness wasn't a gift with no strings. Came with expectations. The relationship would continue only if she respected them. Otherwise, I was already prepared to walk out silently. People around us noticed the shift. Emma had always relied on charm to deflect scrutiny. But that mask had slipped. Now every smile was examined. Every excuse was challenged. I didn't care if others thought I was cold or overbearing. They hadn't lived my betrayal. Emma's unease came from finally being held accountable. Now it was her turn to feel discomfort and decide if she truly wanted to make this work. For me, the choice had already been made. I was ready to move on with or without her. As time moved forward, her resistance began to fade. She started going to therapy willingly. Her phone was no longer locked down. For the first time in a long while, her words matched her actions. But the damage couldn't be undone. This wasn't about earning back my love. It was about proving she could be trusted again, one fragile step at a time. The balance in our relationship had shifted completely. I no longer looked for reassurance in her affection. If she couldn't live up to the new expectations of honesty and respect, she'd lose everything we had built. I wasn't threatening her. I was simply stating reality. One night in a counseling session, Emma broke down. She admitted she thought I'd react with anger, chase after her, and eventually forgive like always. But my calm and the strength of my new boundaries shook her. "You're not the same," she said, almost as if it hurt. I nodded and replied, "Because betrayal changes people. It sharpens how they see things." I wasn't the man who accepted lies disguised as compromise. Emma had to decide if she could adapt to this new version of our marriage. That choice was hers alone. Months passed, and while the relationship wasn't perfect, it became honest. Emma slowly grew into someone who realized trust wasn't a given. It had to be earned every single day. And I became the man who would never again excuse betrayal. Her affair was a wound, but the rules I put in place were the stitches. Whether the scar faded or stayed didn't matter. I had regained my dignity. Emma either learned to live within that truth, or she'd watch me walk away for good. And for once, she believed me when I said I wasn't negotiating anymore. In the end, it wasn't the cheating that broke us. It was how I responded to it. The man who once would have pleaded for her to stay no longer existed. In his place stood someone who drew firm lines and upheld them. Emma came to realize that love isn't kept alive through repeated apologies. needs real respect and accountability. And I came to understand that forgiving without boundaries is just another form of betraying yourself. We moved ahead, but only because the expectations were clear. If she ever crossed them again, there'd be no second chance. I had found peace with or without her.